All right, welcome everybody. I am Pato. With me is Elman Bistio, and a special guest tonight. We have the terror of tournaments, the cynical secret Songhai sympathizer, named after the city that decided it was a good idea to name 60 plus streets Peachtree, and honestly, one of the best competitive gamers I know. It's Atlanta. Nothing to say to that, man?
Now I'm on the spot. Oh, man.
Well, for anybody that doesn't know, this is actually our special going away episode for Atlanta because, like many of my co-hosts, he's traveling off to the land of Counterplay and been doing some great stuff there. So you no longer probably see him in the tournaments ruining your day. You'll probably have something to. He'll still be like the mythical beast that you aspire to be. Like, remember that Atlanta guy that would just like win all the tournaments without losing a game? Like, that's what I want to be one day. And then they'll think of you that way. But without further ado, before we get to that stuff, patch is coming. This is patch 0.35. The main highlights here are that, change around some of the challenges, but the main one is the revamp the starter deck. So for new players coming in, you're actually going to have basically a more fun experience with decks that actually function a little bit better for the faction, actually have smoother mana curves. So definitely looking forward to see what the new player experience is like with that. Might even pop in and play a few games with those myself. Other than that, we actually have some cool community news. We have the Popper Playdown, which is going to be happening August 2nd. It's a tournament where it's no epics and legendaries. So go check that out on the forums. It's being run by Slade. So thanks to her for picking that up from Akratar, passing the torch as we do with these tournaments. Battle Pet Art Contest, July 31st. I mentioned it last patch rundown, but it is now coming to the deadline. So get it in by Friday. Otherwise, you might not have that chance to get your special Battle Pet in the game. And then, of course, we have a Duelyst community game night coming up on the same day. It's going to be Friday night, where just play some fun games online. So there's going to be some Mafia and some other type of games that you can play through online. So go check that out on the forums. You can sign up, get set up ahead of time, then join us on the hip chat, and everybody gets together and has a fun time. So after running through that community use, let's get back to the man of the hour, Atlanta. So I'm going to put you on the spot because that's the best way to start here. What has been your favorite moment of the Duelyst patch rundown, basically family, the moments of being on the show?
That's a tough one. I think my favorite was when we all sat around and talked about all the ways we were going to use the Pado unit. Because it's one of my favorites now, is just stories of how Pado ruined someone's day. And since Gauntlet came up, and we're like, yeah, we're going to draft that card for Gauntlet, I drafted it every time it came up, and it was awesome every time.
Would you take it over Zuriel?
Yes.
Oh, okay. See, that's a
Not
true
to
bro.
Win,
That's a true
not
bro.
to win, but to make something happen. I mean, I've had some really, really funny Pado stories. Like one time someone repulsored my Pado away. He thought he was safe. I swapped it in with a Hearth Sister, hit him for 12, used Aspect of the Wild, or Power of the Wild.
Spirit of the Wild?
I should know this. Yeah, Spirit of the Wild, and then punched him again for 24 damage in Gauntlet. It was, not only did I get to see Pado attack once, which is pretty rare considering it does 12 damage, but to see it attack twice. So it's a pretty good day.
That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the dream. So, Elman, what has been your favorite Atlanta moment on the show?
On the show, I actually had something in mind outside of the show, which
Hey,
I thought
hey,
was hilarious.
you can do outside of the show as well.
All right, since that's the one I had in mind, I'll go with that first, and that gives me time to think. So it's kind of awkward actually, but it was like King of the Alpha Tournament 3. We have an Atlanta bounty. Oh wait, he's not gonna make it. Rip. So that one was pretty hilarious to me.
Akratar got the bounty because he took me out of the tournament.
Oh man.
Because he scheduled it when you couldn't show up. Impressive.
That was the play right there. The game-winning play.
That is some elite plays.
On the show, I think I want to say the earlier episodes because they have more card changes and more just brand new cards come out, and we would kind of just nerd out all the new cards. So I want to say I think Atlanta went most ham when I want to say when Senrui came out and when Killing Edge came out. I think those are the two that are like. I think he had the biggest impressions, and it's funny just gauging like his opinion versus my opinion. And it's cool. Like I nerd out too. I'm not like calling him out or anything, but it's like, it's nice to see those moments. Like to me at least.
Yeah, I mean my favorite parts are probably the like off show parts, which like maybe one day the secret audio will surface. But I mean like I don't know if a lot of people know this, but like I think that we probably spend on average like an hour after the show just shooting the breeze, whatever, just like talking about the game or the patch or just random stuff that's going on with the game. Or even like the pre-game stuff where like I think that when we review the cards, like we actually take a pretty reasonable approach. But all of us are kind of gamers too, so we actually will sometimes have those like gut reactions to a card, and we'll just like go on these rants, which sometimes maybe that would be entertaining to capture, but at the same time, true. It's like we're trying to like represent like what actually is probably the reality instead of just our personal hatred of like a certain card here or there. But and I always find it interesting too when people are like, "Oh man, like I feel like I was like super hard on a card." I'm like, "No, you weren't. You have the Decepticle syndrome where he's like, "Oh man, I was really bad on that card." It's like you said it was like okay. You didn't even say it was bad. You said it was okay. Like I don't know. But yeah, I think those are definitely my those are the moments I will miss. I'll still have Element Bistio and whoever our next successor will be. But definitely we'll miss those moments shooting the breeze. So maybe we'll just get together offline and just do that anyways. Hop in
That
some
would
channels.
be called friendship.
I don't know about that, man. That's pretty deep. I thought we were just making YouTube videos together. I didn't know we were friends.
Too deep for me.
So yeah, man. Like, so what are you gonna be up to for Counterplay? So people, there's like, all right, Atlanta, he's giving up the glorious life, all like the fangirls, and all the fame and all the money. He's gonna go work for Counterplay. He's gonna give up the tournament life. What are you gonna be doing for Counterplay?
So I am associate producer, which basically means like a Swiss Army knife. I'm there to kind of grease the wheels as far as getting things done in the company. And I focus mostly on making sure that everyone's giving status reports on where they are in certain things and making sure that the workflow is really smooth, as well as doing miscellaneous tasks here or there to patch up the holes that otherwise might go unnoticed or unfilled because people are doing other things. Being a producer in the game industry is a really vague task, and it varies from company to company, and I'm still sort of discovering what that means for Counterplay and for a startup in general, as opposed to some big AAA like Blizzard. So it's definitely going to be a long ride for me, and I'm really hoping to push out some really sweet changes for you guys. And some of the things that I've done have already been implemented. I won't say which ones, but I'm working in the shadows and just trying to make Duelyst the best game that it can be. And I'm very happy to have this opportunity to help improve Duelyst and be a part of Counterplay.
Yeah, well said, man. I'm excited to, as we've kind of shipped off different people from the community into Counterplay, already an awesome group of guys, and I think they'll be happy to have you on there as you get to work with them coming up. But so I have to ask you, I don't know if Element Bistio, if you saw the Atlanta card that I created for him. Did you see it?
Oh, no.
The special Atlanta card that I have up here. Well, so just for those that so for Element Bistio, Atlanta is a 10 cost 1337 minion that has Songhai Watch, which basically means whenever like a Songhai appears, you destroy Atlanta. So that is actually his card that I made for him. Do you think that is a fitting card for Atlanta? You think that's I pretty much nailed him in a Duelyst card?
So, cringeworthy comes to mind, but I think it is fitting. Like, it's not a surprise that Atlanta is not in good terms with Songhai, and if Atlanta was in the lore for the game, then he'd probably do unreasonable things to try and hurt Songhai. So I think that's very fitting. Those stats, though, oh my god, that's mostly where the cringeworthy comes from.
Oh yeah.
It's a Magmar card. Can't you see? Or no, wait, it's Abyssian too, because you can, yeah, just get that flash reincarnation. You can make the play.
Yeah, you can
That's
actually
so
get it out.
much.
It's impressive. I think also too. I mean, like I mean, I want to play homage to Atlanta. I feel like he is, like like I mean, like we're never gonna be able to prove this anymore. But I think he's, a slightly more attack prone. He has a better resume than myself in tournaments. Mythical tournaments I've probably won more than him. But in actual tournaments, I'd probably say he has more attack than me. So I gave him the 13 attack to kind of like bump over Paddo so he could take the throne there.
Doesn't have as cool of an effect.
No, I mean, no one's ever gonna have as cool of effect. I mean, that's just the reality of the world we're gonna live in. But I feel like this is very you. It very translates. When I think of Atlanta, I'm like that's an Atlanta card, and I think against everybody but Songhai, this would be a pretty solid card if you were playing a faction that could get it out. I mean, that's a hard guy to deal with.
Yeah, so to summarize, it's unplayable, and especially unplayable against Songhai.
Yeah, basically, that's
A swag card, like they at least have the swag walk or the swag attack animation. Like,
Oh yeah, what would be
true.
your attack animation, Atlanta? What would be your, if you could have anything? What would be your attack animation?
I just look at units and they die.
I should have gave you range too. What was I thinking?
And then I can look at them from really far away. Well, I'm nearsighted, so wouldn't work out as well. I had to get real close to them to kill them, to see them.
When you range attack, you hit a random minion within like 10 squares of it. That'd be perfect.
but in the Duelyst world, they found the medicine for you. Just have normal range.
That's
Well,
right.
Yeah, we'll keep the watch out. We'll keep the watch out. So, with that wrapped up, we are in week 3 now of the closed beta. So, what is any new things that popped up for you guys as far as like on the ladder? Any new tricks or decks you guys are playing out? Anything like that?
Well, I'm starting to pull cards in my packs now. Haven't been
Yay.
able to play as much since I've been a bit more busy. Haven't really been playing that much Duelyst in the last 2 weeks but I've been able to get like a Songhai deck going, which is I suppose ironic. That is the faction that I have the most cards for, and so that is the faction I am playing.
Hey, there's a reason I dropped the secret Songhai sympathizer in there. No one would expect
That's
it.
true.
No one expected. Elman, any interesting things? What are you working on these days for Duelyst?
Well, I was already on the Magmar train because
Choo
the
choo.
basics and commons, the basics and commons were just really good. And I think the game just wants me to play Magmar because my gauntlet was Vindicator. My gauntlet reward was the Vindicator. My
Oh, well,
packs
there you
gave
go.
Me, yeah, my packs gave me 2 War Beasts. So it's looking quite nice now. Yeah, just building up the collection slowly. The cool thing though was and like people are still kind of discovering decks, but it's like re-finding out some of the, I guess, old tech. So Shadow Nova actually came into play for a few people again. I actually keep using Shadow Nova now a lot, like as a substitution for not having Revenants. And in the tournament, I still use them because, sorry about that. I still use them because they're kind of like the inevitable card that they win fast or kind of get blown out, right? Like it keeps scaling and scaling. So like, I don't know what has been really fun lately. It's like a rediscovery. It depends on the faction. It's actually like even stronger than a Revenant sometimes because again it keeps scaling and it zones out areas, like huge areas, and it might actually kill what the opponent played that same turn. And you don't remove it like a minion. So some cards are just useless against it. And or you just kind of move away and then they eat the second Nova and they die. So I find it like it's really, really good, at least for now, because the late game is like questionable for like golems aren't as strong as Shadow Nova, like clearly. Shadow Nova just destroys them. So like yeah, like, it's just good finisher for me. Doing it a lot.
Yeah, I myself, obviously playing Songhai, all manner of different kinds of Songhai decks, tweaking around like what I can get away with not playing and playing, because I find it interesting when you take out what are the perceived power cards and when you just try to like all in and stuff. And sometimes it leaves you holes, and then sometimes I found out like I don't need a certain card here or there. I've been playing a lot like with the absence of just like pure anything that's like actually a burn card, like Phoenix Fire or Spiral, and just playing around with like, can I finish people even if they're healing or doing other things? Like, does the deck function without those cards? And I think like for the most cases, I've actually been pretty successful with it. But it also depends on the type of cards you're running, but in the ratios. But yeah. Other than that, like yeah, Repulsor Beast, I love that card so much, especially with Backstab, because you can put units in your way to backstab if you want to, if you have a Mask of Shadows out and they're running away or you're playing with other stuff. So Mask of Shadows has been my my go-to card so far since beta has launched. That's like the card that I've been playing a lot of, because it creates, I think actually, if anybody actually goes and watches, I actually just did an episode with Mogwai and his deck, and the cool thing about Mask of Shadows is that once it's kind of out on the board, it creates this either like they go towards it and try to like ping it off of you, or if they can't, then they like kind of want to move away from you, because like once that thing starts, it's just like the most devastating, just like, hey, I kill pretty much everything for free, and I just keep doing it. So it leads to a lot of interesting scenarios where you kind of start pushing them away, and then that works for Songhai when you can actually create distance for them, because they thrive off of any time to set up anything ever, because that's their faction they are. But yeah, that's been my kind of beta experience so far. Other than that, still haven't opened a Paddo. 3 weeks in, I'm on Paddo watch, man. Otherwise, he'd be in all my decks for reasons.
I'm there with you, Paddo. I'm starting the Paddo Craft Fund for myself, and I'll finish it in like 3 months, probably. But I'll still be around playing when I can, because I still really love to play Duelyst. That will not change.
So with that, like any final words, shout outs, Atlanta, before we wrap up this final episode with you on the Duelyst Patch Rundown, like any like words for players that have been super awesome along your journey, or any stuff like that?
That's a good question. I would say shout outs to just my friends that have been with me throughout all of my phases in life. You know who you are, and I was really excited to still be able to do what I love years later after starting this really long journey in my life. And this is probably the biggest opportunity I'm ever gonna have. So I'm gonna do the best I can for everyone. And thanks to you guys who have been with me for months now doing this show. I think without your help, Paddo, I wouldn't have gotten this job. So big ups to you. Big ups to Elman for being there and going through with me on my journey through Duelyst as well. We had some fun times, and I'll always be there for you guys, even if I'm more or less in the back now. But I've been lucky to be a part of all this.
Hey man, couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, again, from my perspective,
No problem, man.
definitely been a pleasure to have you on the show. And there's been a great group of guys that have kind of came through the show, and I'm interested to see who our next stand-in for you is going to be. We have some good people out there, so we'll be moving on strong. But definitely gonna miss you and everything that you've kind of brought to the show. So with that, that's gonna end patch 0.35 Duelyst patch rundown. We'll be back next week with a surprise guest. We'll see who that's gonna be as we roll around here. But expect more of the show, and best of luck to you, Atlanta, and your future job at Counterplay. And I expect to see some great things.
Thanks, man.
Congrats, dude.
Oh, but I mean, I also introduced you as the secret Songhai sympathizer.
It's true.
It's also
we can just make
every
a disclaimer
other
at the
episode,
end.
including
Disclaimer at
the
the end.
Deceptical episode. So
Oh my god. Oh wait, no, really? Oh my god, that's so bad. Okay. So what we'll do, I'll just make a disclaimer at the end saying like
No
No,
Songhai
fuck.
cards will be harmed in the hiring of Atlanta.
No Songhai cards were harmed in the making of this.
Okay, so
What is
my
this
bad,
world?
The card is like way more cringeworthy than I thought.
There you go.
I didn't see. I look
Oh,
at
you
it now.
you see it now?
The triple spike hair. Oh my god.
Dude, that's fuck. What is it? Scott Pilgrim?
There you go.
And the dude looks nice, but even the background of like a city.
It's the city of Atlanta,
It's
bro.
really bad.
It's Atlanta, bro.
That's the best.
Oh my god. Like I was basically just picturing the 1337, right? Obviously, you're trying to spell lead. Fine. And then the Songhai wash, clearly you're hating like Atlanta's hate for Songhai. But then, oh my god.
It's beautiful,
really
Alman.
bad.
It's beautiful.
Burn into my retina now.
I'm glad you approved so much, Alman. I'm glad that we can get this past the board. We can ship it. I expect this card to be in the expansion, Atlanta. Feel free to let Counterplay. I mean, all they can take everything, like all creative rights from me, like for free of charge, to Counterplay. So just let them know they can make this.
That's really
That's that.
it's really
That's
generous
really-
of you, you know? I will just transfer my love on the back end.
There you go.
That might not go in the show.
No, it's in. It's locked. It's now lore canon.
So
Atlanta's
people find
final words.
comfortable with transferring that love into the back end.